Hello, friends. How are you? Welcome. It's good to be here today talking to all of you. And for those of you who are hearing me for the first time, I'm Ananda Rose. And thank you so much for joining me. Today, I just thought I would come online and talk about when we believe, what we can do when we believe, right? Are you believing at the moment, friends? That would be my question to you. There is so much happening in the world, and there is so much happening all around us that can feel a little bit disconcerting at the moment. Now, I've got to tell you, look, I really reflect on myself at this time and I think about how, a couple of years ago, I was just doing lots and lots and lots of videos and I just put so much out and I love doing it and I still do, but I just feel like, with life having changed the way it has, it's just been a tad bit disconnected. And I am so into doing energy work and I do it all the time. Like I did some energy clearing and light language today with somebody. I ran a workshop last night and that's what I continue to do. But here in the forefront, obviously I have not been so out there. I'm hoping we can change that because I do love doing this. And I've really had this time of reflection of what exactly I would like to do right now. But I think we're all doing, whether we're out here in the open and talking to the collective, or whether we're in the background doing whatever we're doing that. And everything is relative and relevant. I always say that. Right. For weeks now, I've been hearing the songs in my head the whole time. And this is the song called When You Believe, sung by Mariah Carey and the late Whitney Houston. In 1998 is when the song came out, and it was for the movie The Prince of Egypt, right? And I keep hearing the song and I think, oh, I've got to bring a light. I think I have to bring a light language transmission talking about the song and what it actually means for us in this time and space. Because the truth of the matter is, currently we're just going through so much, right? Currently we're going through a lot of stuff and frightening stuff too. And right now in New Zealand, many of us are astounded at the price of, or the cost of living, or the price of food, or the price of fuel, right? Uh, Whatever started happening in the Middle East started a few weeks ago, and before you knew it, before we even had this thing of, okay, now we have to pay attention, food prices went up and the fuel prices went up. And we just had our government put out a notification of how they're going to supplement families with the fuel price, and it's like $50 a week, starting I think May or June, and it's going to be $50 a week, and you have to fall within a certain income threshold, and and if you don't, then you're not going to get it. And it's like I've got to say, it's confusing. It and the fact that it comes into effect a month, like what, 2 months away if it's May, or 3 months away if it's June, right? I read it, I forgot about it earlier today, so I apologize. But just when, and many of us are saying that here in New Zealand, just when we thought, okay, we can see a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel because things seem to be shifting positively since all the COVID um, lockdowns and things happened, and people weren't working regularly and normal things did not go as funk as expected, right? Or as it should be. And now we have this happening. Now, I really am not going to I'm not going to talk about what's happening in the Middle East because I want to leave that conversation for another time. Okay. However, and I also try not to be political or get too much involved with what's happening in that part of the world because for me, my motto is let's hold light in space. Let's hold light in space and send love. The love, the highest vibrational frequency we can have is what we want to send, right? To any place that is in strife or any person that might be in strife and suffering. But coming back to the song, the idea of the song is to awaken all of us to who we are. Now, you know, The Prince of Egypt, the movie, was about about Moses, the story of Moses, right? In the Bible, Moses was was given the responsibility of taking the Hebrew people or the Jewish people, Hebrews, back to to the land, to their promised land, and they were in Egypt. And so basically, we know the story, all those things that went through, and finally they did leave Egypt and they left Egypt, and the Pharaoh's men came after them, and the Red Sea was parted, not departed, parted so that they could go through it. And then when when they'd gone through, when the Israelites had gone through, um, the soldiers tried to go through this as well, excuse me. The soldiers tried to go through the Red Sea as well, and they were unfortunately drowned because the sea came back together. Now, it is a story in the Bible. I understand if some people don't care for it or they don't believe in it, but this is a story that talks that is a lot of that has a lot of analogy of what's going on in our world right now, and I'll tell you how. So when the Israelites went to the other side of the Red Sea parted and they went to the other side. They then went into the desert. And they were there for 40 years. They roamed the desert for 40 years. But they were only a month away from the promised land. And one of the things that was very evident, there was a lot of doubt and fear and worry, and it was all about a mind trap. They were all in this fearful state that they had this illusion of, how was it going to be if they continued there? How was it going to be for them to enter the promised land and go through any more trauma to get to that promised land? And as a result, they wandered in the desert for 40 years. Many of the people, the pioneers of that, did not see the promised land because Moses himself supposedly died before they reached the promised land 40 years later. Okay, so they were just wandering in the desert for that time. So that's just a little bit of the backstory of this movie. And if you ever get a chance to watch it, watch it. I encourage you. I tell you why, because it's just a good story to know about. It's got so many teachings within that story, right? And maybe I'm a little bit receptive to it because I was a Christian for many years and I had heard the story so many times. But when I watched that movie, I have a different perception of it and so on. Let's go back to the lyrics of the song. It goes like this. Many nights we prayed with no proof anyone could hear. In our hearts, a hopeful song we barely understood. Now we are not afraid, although we know there's much to fear. We were moving mountains long before we could. I beg your pardon. We were moving mountains long before we knew we could. There can be miracles when you believe. The hope is frail. It's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve when you believe. Somehow you will achieve. In this time right now, this week I've spoken to a few people and they're afraid. They've gone through a lot of struggle. And suddenly they're facing redundancy. Suddenly they're facing not knowing whether they'll be able to pay the rent, not knowing how they're going to do life, waking up and thinking, oh my gosh, I'm still here and the situation hasn't changed, not knowing how to change their lives. It didn't happen just now when there's another war in the world. These people have been going through a lot of trauma for a long time. I'm one of those people. And just when I saw the light and I saw things shifting and changing, this happens and where suddenly, fuel prices hit the roof and beyond. Price of food is going up. Uh, People are not putting up their money because they don't know what's going to happen. I have a market this weekend. I've been asked to manage the local craft market. And this was such an amazing gift to me, the universe used source energy, God used these people to give me hope. And my first market happens this weekend, and I've had a couple of people saying to me, we can't attend because the fuel price is so high. We run a vehicle that's got diesel, for example, that uses diesel, and that's so high. And so we have to be cautious. Now, these things are going to happen. And today I'm going to encourage you that we were moving mountains long before we knew we could. The words of that song. There can be miracles when you believe, when I believe, when we believe. As a people, I'm encouraging you to not listen to the reports of what's out there, but to listen to the report of your intuition. Go back to yourself. Go back to God. Go back to source energy. Back to Mother, Father, Goddess, God, and ask, how do I navigate here? Because I can tell you, we've got this, right? We've got this. If we understand who we truly are, what our powers are, we have got this. So I need to say this. I know I don't often speak here anymore, and I'm hoping that will change very soon, that all of that will go to the back burner, and this will be where we do, I come through and do more of my energy work. But the other energy work is necessary too. So, thank you for your patience and your understanding with this and supporting the channel. Even when I'm not here, you still support the channel. So, today, friends, I want to encourage you to believe. I am encouraging you to stop these ears, to stop listening to everyone else's reports. Yes, you must be aware of what is going on around you so that you can look after yourself and your families and all of that, to keep yourself safe, etc. You must be aware of the weather reports, all of that. But we're in a time where nothing is certain. Everything seems to be, we question, okay, why is this coming through? Is that real? And AI, the abuse of AI to fear monger, to scare people, is rife everywhere. So, I'm encouraging you today to go within, to look back at yourself and say, what have I done? How have I done this before? I know for me, I did it. Like one of my other videos, I talked about Psalm 23 and Psalm 91. And truly, truly, friends, if you go back, if you check out Psalm 91, and if you declare Psalm 91 over your life, over your family, over your community, over your country, over your town, whatever, over a situation, we will make this, we will come through this. You and I, every one of us on this planet that is aimed at for suffering, those that have the power, they will work out that, or actually, we don't care what they work out. We will see how we have the power. We will see how we are the ones who can shift the reality. And it doesn't have to be a miracle if our belief is right. That's what we're going to live. We're going to live this thing, right? When we belief is what needs to change. I am the first one to say, yeah, there's a lot of kinks in my belief system and what I believe in, whom I believe in. But I've really started to see, come back, Rose, come back to yourself. Come back to that which you know that is always, always salt of the earth through the ages, kept you going, kept you alive, kept you standing up, kept you fearless. And that is what it is. Go back to the source. Go back to source. Believe in source. Believe in the power of source. Believe that when we live in the shadow of the Almighty and we rest in the Most High, I'm saying it the other way around now. And when we declare that source is our protector, source is our source, God is our source, then yes, we have refuge. Nothing can come near us. 1,000 at my right hand will fall at my right hand, 10,000 at 1,000 at my side, 10,000 at my right hand. Got the verses wrong, but it will not come near me. I'm going to encourage you to watch The Prince of Egypt, and I'm going to encourage you to read the lyrics and listen to the song. In fact, I might put the link of it to it at the end of this video. There can be miracles when we believe. You know, we pray. We pray. Are you feeling like I'm praying, but I'm not seeing the shift? Well, or you're not seeing the proof that anyone can hear you, right? But understand that we are not afraid, although we know there's much to fear. I'm reading the lyrics on the side of the screen here because I'll forget it. So, friends, I would like to say to you, there can be miracles when we believe. Not just you believing, not just me believing, but we believing. There can be miracles when we believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard to kill. And who knows what miracles we can achieve. We can achieve together when we believe. Somehow we will when we believe, right? So I feel like this song is so profound, that those lyrics are so profound. And also coming back to the Israelites in the desert for 40 years, what was stopping them from reaching the promised land in a month? What stopped them? All their fears stopped them, all their worries, all their uncertainties. And a lot of that generation that left Egypt with Moses did not see the promised land because they were roaming around in the desert for 40 years. And so they perished in the desert. But those that went in, they went in with Joshua. Joshua was the one who led them into the promised land eventually after this 40 years. Remember Joshua and Caleb? And so they were a different generation. Now, does it take a different generation to go into the promised land? And my point being that when we lack courage, then we let the fear, the entrapment of what we are not certain of the unknown, keep us stagnant, keep us in a frozen state that we don't move forward, that we stay stuck. So please believe. Believe with me is my encouragement to you. Friends, I'm going to bring in a light language transmission. I know I didn't do an opening, but it's okay because we're doing one. We're doing a light language transmission here today. Let's take a moment to breathe. I'll keep my feet firmly planted on the ground. I invite you to do the same with me. Gonna have a sip of water. Kiranatfa. I'm just gonna clear myself with some selenite. And as I clear myself, I'm clearing for all of us too. There can be miracles when we believe. I've paraphrased it. There can be miracles when we believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard to kill hope, even though it's frail. Who knows what miracles we can achieve right now in this time with all that's going on in our world. So when we believe, somehow we will achieve those miracles. When we believe. Kiramatsu tsennatsei soremetei kiravena kirametei koramatsennatsei korameta koravena koramete kieram neto wate これはつろまつってな、これ別れめて、これはつのわつなて。 Hiremetsu tsuatse koramete kofarotse koravene kirarana tsuatse horameta koravena koravena Sierra Mateato. I hope you receive the light code, friends, coming through that. I hope that you got to hear the song because the musician's mode for me on Zoom is messed up a little bit. It does, you cannot hear all of the singing when it happens. So I've decided not to turn it on. But just to say, and you can see Baxter in the background. For those of you that know Baxter, there he is waiting to go out. And he decided that he will do this now when I've started to do my light language transmission. Hey, friends. Thank you. Kebakoto forona megato. Keep trusting that everything will be okay because we will be okay. We have got this. We have won this. Just remember that I say we have won this because for me, I can't find any other word to say. Remember that constantly things are being thrown at us to take us back into the matrix, to take us back down a different pathway, to distract us. I've got to tell you, that time is over. It's been over for a long time. When you know that Neptune is in Aries and when you know that Jupiter is has gone direct, I think Jupiter's in Cancer, going direct in Cancer. You know that this is, it's inevitable that truth is going to come out. It's inevitable that people are going to see through the veil because as long as Neptune is in Aries right now, and Neptune stays in Aries for 12 years, the veil is off. Those things that people have been trying to pull the veil over our eyes about, they're gone. So, yeah, Aries is not a sign that people that you can not take seriously. You have to take it seriously because it's a sign that expects truth and authentication. Authentication and Aries go together. Not all people, especially if the people are operating from a high vibrational perspective. So, friends, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support. I say that to you. I will catch you next time. And yeah, hoping to do more of this. It was so much fun, right? It was so much fun. It used to be awesome. And let the fun come back. Let the fun of this become our reality again. I thank you. And for all of you that comment, Laurie, I just appreciate you. I just want to say, Laurie, I appreciate you. Thank you. I just appreciate you and I appreciate all that you say. Yes, yeah. And some people are commenting on the channel and I just see your username for your email. I don't see your name, but thank you so much. So much. And to all of you, thank you for watching. Thank you for getting this far. I'll catch you next time. Namaste and so much love to you. Namahi.